Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again with another Whizbang's Workshop card review, where we have a bunch of neutrals to go over. I think like 9 in total. They're all commons. Are any of them any good? Well, we'll take a look at that in a second. If you want to win these cards, or maybe some of the more expensive good legendary cards, we have a 3 mega bundle, 2 regular pre-order giveaway going on out of my pocket. To enter that giveaway, like and comment in the video, link to the description below, the one with that thumbnail there. Be subscribed to the channel, and every 1,000 subs we get until all the cards are revealed, I will add another mega bundle. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. So let's take a look at some of these cards. Will any of them see play? Maybe, we'll see. First, we have the Tar Slime, a neutral 1 mana, 0/3 elemental. It has taunt, but also has +2 attack during your opponent's turn. Like Tar Creeper, I guess, right? That was a 1/5 that had +2 attack. So for a third of the cost, you get, you know, a minion for not like it's a 2/3. It's a 1 mana 2/3 on your opponent's turn. So obviously the big downside of this card is you can't even attack with it on your turn unless you buffed it in some way. But it could be like an anti-aggro tool. It could be just a really good like unit in like a buff deck, a little token deck. Like Tar Creeper used to see play in like Token Druid just because it had a lot of stats. You buffed it up and it was hard to remove. I could see this card doing that. It's an elemental, so it's a cheap elemental for those elemental decks that really want to play an elemental every turn, and also cheap that you could like buff it up with a cheap elemental draw spell. Has possibilities. I see this card seeing play. A 1 mana 2/3 tribal minion. Obviously there's the downside. Again, it doesn't have attack on your turn, but I feel like this can see play in those token decks. I don't know, maybe as an anti-aggro option, possibly. Probably not, but I'm not sleeping on a 1 mana 2/3, even if it's a conditional thing with the tribe. I will give it a 3 out of 5 in standard, 2 out of 5 in wild, where I don't think you're going to bother. But again, I do think this is an absolute playable card. Next, we have this Scarab Keychain, a 1 mana 1/1 beast. Battlecry, discover a 2-cost card. So it's a beast. You can curve into your 2-drop, whatever you're going to do. The stats kind of suck, but you're already discovering a specific card. Obviously, this is like a throwback, I think, to Jeweled Scarab, it was called. It was a 2/2 mana 2/2 beast and discovered a 3-cost card. Saw fringe play way back in the day. Will this see play? Probably not. There's just better stuff to do in basically any class right now, but it's a nice throwback. It's a decent arena card. Maybe you'll get a Flint for 2 mana. That could be good. Can't get Astalor anymore, at least in standard, since it's rotating. But overall, yeah, probably more of pack filler type arena card. Give it a 2 out of 5 in standard, a 1 out of 5 in wild. And again, you don't even have the class bonus, right? It could be just any garbage neutral 2-cost card. You just don't know. But yeah, I don't think this will be a major meta player. Next, we have a lot of 1-drops here. I love the artwork on this guy. He is adorable. The Gift Wrapped Whelp. Oh God, I love this card. I just like, it's so cute. It's a 1 mana 2/1 dragon. Battlecry. If you're holding a dragon, give it and this minion +1/+1. So I am assuming if you're holding multiple dragons, it'll just buff a dragon at random in your hand. You'll give it a +1/+1. Then you'll have a 1 mana 3/2 on top of that. I don't see why like Dragon Druid doesn't want to play this card. Just seems good, right? 1 mana 3/2, a little bit of a hand buff. It's a dragon that activate your other dragon synergies. You hit that dragon golem, the taunt thing, that's already another buff on your like wide board of dragons. Just seems like a really versatile, good unit or minion. Why do I keep saying unit? What are we playing here? Just a good minion for a dragon-based deck. Obviously, it's only working with dragons or an amalgam type minion, right? An all tribe. But again, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 in standard. Probably 2 out of 5 in wild. There are dragon druids out there in wild, but I feel like they're not going to be running this. But again, don't sleep on this card. This is a good amount of stats in. Absolutely adorable card. Absolutely adorable. Next we have one of the dumbest cards ever. I love this card for the fact it's going to trigger the people like, why is a Hearthstone serious and bloody and violent and all this stuff, when this card is just flavor and silly. It's silliness. It is the Character Artist, a 4 mana 3/4 Battlecry. You draw a minion that costs 5 or more. and you give it a funny mustache. like why? Why are you it's so stupid? I love it. That's it. This will just draw a mustache on the minion. It doesn't get like a bonus or anything. It's just you draw that card and you give it a funny mustache. You can give your Shutterwalk a funny mustache. It's just absurd. It's stupid. Will this card see play? Maybe in a deck that really wants to like tutor a specific high cost minion, right? You want your Brandon Warrior and you don't play any other, or you want your Odin and Warrior, right? You get it, and it gets you can give your Brand, who's already got a beard, a funny mustache on top of it. I don't have a video to demonstrate it. My assumption it works similar to like the BGs, where there's like mustaches they would draw there, but overall, a really silly, stupid card. It's why I love Hearthstone, these type of cards. I'm gonna give it a 3. There's gonna be some deck out there that wants to tutor a high cost specific minion, and then you play this card to do that and give it a funny mustache. And in Wild, I'll probably give it a 2, although, I don't know, tutor my Shutterwalk, but then I can't like Grumble and all sorts of other good stuff. But I'm sorry, I just think it's such a silly card. It's such a stupid card, and I love everything about it. Next, we have a new Murloc, the Plucky Paintfin, a 3 mana, 2/3 minion. Not great. It has poisonous. Nothing else, though. Battlecry, draw a rush minion. Really expensive, I guess. I know it's 3 mana, but expensive for a card that doesn't really do a lot. Like, it's probably not gonna be able to kill what you play it for, right? Like, it doesn't have rush, stealth, anything going on. Drawing Rushman can be fine, like Town Crier, which is now in the Warrior core set's a really good card, but that was 1 mana for 3 times the cost for a minion that's probably not gonna actually kill anything. You can't really ignore it, to be fair. It's got poisonous, but I see, again, this is more as an arena card, not really a meta standard card, but it is a Murloc. Maybe their Murloc decks pop up and it's something to draw a Murloc with Rush and you can buff this up, but right now that's not really a thing. So I'm gonna give it 2 out of 5 in Standard and Wild, where Wild has a lot of Murloc decks. Probably, again, not worth it there, but has some versatility to it. We have the Mess Maker, a 3 mana, 1/3, lifesteal, taunt, Death Rattle, deal 1 damage to all enemies. So neutral taunt minion with lifesteal, but no attack on it, right? Like, that's like almost nothing unless you hand buff it up or buff it with something else. The taunt's kind of nice. The deal 1 damage to all enemies, which can go face, so Mark will make an OTK out of this somehow. But yeah, just these type of stat lines are just terrible. And the lifesteal, you can get it like you hit 7 minions and you hit the face, that's 8 healing or 9 healing if it took damage too. It can be a good amount of healing, but there's just better stuff. There's better stuff in the game. I don't see this seeing any play. I'm gonna give it a 2 in Standard and a 1 in Wild. I don't see it happening there. We have the Bucket of Soldiers, a 3 mana 0/2 minion. Yikes. Death Rattle, summon 5 1/1 soldiers with random bonus effects. So it's a 3 mana, 5/7? As long as you're able to kill this off. So you have a Death Rattle proc, or you buff it up in some way. Sure. And the soldiers are just generic 1/1 tokens. It's the 8 random effects as usual, like Divine Shield, Wind Fury, Reborn. The usual thing we've seen a lot with those random bonus effect cards. It just seems really slow. You have to buff it up, hand buff it up. And even the cards you're getting out of it are pretty unreliable. This mechanic hasn't really, like, the random bonus effect cards don't really see a ton of play right now. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in Standard, a 1 out of 5 in Wild. I don't see it making the cut because you got to work really hard for what I feel is a pretty mediocre effect. Next, we have a Vala Cosplay card, a 3 mana 3/4 cosplay contestant. Shout out to Alkali Lake, our old community manager, who had an amazing Vala Cosplay. After your opponent plays a minion, transform into a 3/4 copy of it. Kind of reminiscent of what Harbinger Celestia was, like that horrible legendary 4 mana 5/6 with stealth, and it would basically do this. That card was terrible. Do you think this card's good? No. They're just like, no way. Like, there's no way they're just gonna give you whatever 3/4. Like, it's just so situational. You can't reliably have your opponent play something you're gonna really benefit off of. Maybe with some like weird res effects or something, but I'm giving it a 1 out of 5 in Standard Wild. I don't see it seeing play, but I do love the artwork, and hopefully it's a shout out to Alkali, who really does deserve it. And then lastly, we have the Workshop Janitor, a 5 mana 5/5 minion, Battlecry, if you control a location, draw 2 cards. So any location on the board for you, whether it's the Yogg location or your class location, I think all classes still have one. I actually need to look at that. Some of them, I don't know if they all have a location still, but regardless, 5 mana 5/5 that draws 2 cards. Every class is such a good card draw these days. Like back in my day, you know, when locations didn't exist, but let's say they did, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, this might see play, but I feel like every class has like a 2 mana draw 2, a 3 mana draw 2, or more than that, where this is just really slow. It's just slow in today's game to the point, yeah, I'm going to give it 2 out of 5 in Standard and Wild. I don't see you playing it, even if you're reliably playing a location. And then again, if you don't have that location going, this is a dead card. You can't just play a 5 mana 5/5. It's awful, right? So probably not happening in current Hearthstone. So that's it. Those are the neutrals today. More card reveals. Like, again, like I said earlier today, reveals every day for like 2 weeks. So tune in tomorrow. I think there might be 3 separate reveals starting at like 2 a.m. my time. So yeah, we'll be kicking pretty early. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.